Full screen. So again, the training tonight is called How to Be Found by the Partner You Deserve. And I'm very passionate about the very particular language, even though it's a mouthful, because he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So we're not out here chasing anybody. We're not out here begging anyone to show up. It's all about how do we position ourselves to be found. And then the second part is by the partner that you deserve. This is not about getting a husband. I live in New York City. I could go to Atlantic Avenue. I could go to 42nd Street and marry anybody, right? Like this isn't about marrying anybody. Many of you, I'm sure, have been in healthy, committed relationships, or I should say, have been in committed relationships. Some of you may have been married before. Some of you may have been engaged before. So it's not about just getting married. Any of you can literally just get married tomorrow. It's about being married or being partnered with the right person for you. So a little bit of background on who I am, and then we'll get into how you're feeling. Actually, let's do the opposite. How are you feeling? So I need some feedback because this is a one-stop shop, and I want to make sure that you and I are all on the same page. So please let me know in the chat if you are potentially number one. Maybe you are afraid that you will never find a fulfilling, loving partnership. If that's you, let's put a number one in the chat. Number two, and it could be a combo, right? Number two, are you dreading dating in the dating scene again? If you're a number two, let's put that in the chat. Number three, if you are concerned about the dating pool being non-existent, you can put a number three in the chat. And if you're a combination of any of these, please go ahead and put it in the chat. Maybe you are afraid of dating again because you think that the pool is non-existent. Whatever that might look like, please let me know how you are feeling to make sure that we are on the same page and I am attacking exactly what your concerns are. So again, as I mentioned before, you guys know me. That's why you're here. I'm Allison. I have 13 years of counseling experience. I'm actually going to make 14. This is the 14th year, but it's like September the 5th. So at the end of this year, it'll be 14 years. I have a master's degree in mental health counseling. I'm a certified dating and relationship coach with hundreds of testimonials and an emphasis on testimonials because there are plenty of people who get their relationship and then say au revoir to me. So this is just a reflection of the people that I was able to capture. Hundreds of testimonials from women that range in age as young as 28 and as seasoned as 74. So if you fall into that gap, a very large, almost 50-year gap, then what I'm teaching is absolutely going to work for you because it's worked for my clients. Okay. And I'm happily married. And I know that it's easier said than done, but when you are partnered with the right person, it's actually quite easy. This idea that marriage is so difficult and relationships are so difficult, yeah, when it's with the wrong person. When you're trying to fit a circle in a square peg, it absolutely will be difficult. If you're trying to fit a circle into a circle peg and the peg is bigger than, you get my point, right? So this is my husband, Andrew, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. And my beautiful family, my little Rogie Bear, Rogue Wellington, and then Phoenix. Okay. And these are some of the clients that I've worked with because, again, I want you guys to know that what I'm going to be teaching you tonight absolutely is applicable to you. So you need to see a reflection of you, a reflection in your age, a reflection in your location, a reflection in your career. And I want you to know that it works because we work it. I have Keita, who is a nurse, 40 plus out of Atlanta, who's in a healthy, committed relationship. I have Nigel, the male in this marriage, right? So this is a picture of their wedding invitation back in 2023 out of Houston. So when we say that men don't want marriage and men aren't serious and men don't look for support, that's simply not true. And then probably one of my most popular clients, Kristen, who's coming from Southern California. Her fiance is from Atlanta. I know that my people in Atlanta love to say, "Oh my God," is right. Her husband is from Atlanta. They met in Southern California, and they're getting married this October in Atlanta as well. Okay, so again, if this is a reflection of you in any form or fashion, then that means this can happen for you. I have Crystal out of Miami, Jamaican born. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Crystal in a moment. And I have other clients as well. Some are moms, some are not moms. Some have been married before, some have never been married, right? So again, plus size, not plus size, younger, older, it doesn't matter. If you show up and you do the work, you will get the results that you desire. But I do want to tell you guys a quick story about Crystal before we get into the meat and potatoes of today, right? So Crystal, Jamaican born, living in Miami. um, what she would describe herself as plus size. I wouldn't, but she would describe herself as such with a deeper tone. And she says to me, Allison, I'm in Miami. The guys don't go for darker skinned women. And, they only want the ladies who are Hispanic. And the physique is very particular, sometimes surgery, many times surgery. And so this is not going to work for me. And I said, you know what, Crystal, you absolutely right. She said, what? I said, yeah, you're right. It's not going to work for you. As long as you believe that you won't be able to get into the healthy, committed relationship that you desire, you won't get into the healthy, committed relationship that you desire. Why? Because you're not going to show up. You're not going to go out. You're not going to meet new people. You're not going to be self-reflective and start working on you. We're going to get into the strategy in the moment, right? You're not going to get clear on your non-negotiables. You're not going to ask the right questions because you believe it can't happen. So then why would you ever do the work? If you believe you can't get a bachelor's degree, right? High school was enough. I just can't do a bachelor's. Then what are you? You're never going to apply. You're not going to go to class. You're not going to buy the books. You're not going to study because you believe it can't happen. That's none of us. That's just for the sake of argument, right? If you believe you can't lose the weight, you're absolutely right. Why? Because you're not going to diet. You're not going to exercise. You're not going to do the activity that's required to reach the goal. So again, as long as you believe you can't, you are right. Can't because you won't. Does that make sense? Okay. So again, ring after ring, engagement after engagement, marriage after marriage, baby after baby. These are all reflections of people who listen to me, some more seasoned than others. Some of them moms. This is a mom of a son, I want to say school age son, two teenage daughters. It works because you work at DMV, Virginia, California, Vegas. It works because you work it. And again, another one of my clients who says, thank God for you. You helped me discover my true self and my true desires. You helped me get ready for this man who has changed my life. I don't know how to thank you. Okay. So now that I hope that you guys are where I need you to be mentally, which is open and willing and no longer making excuses around it won't work for me because, like, okay, I invested in the class, I'm trying, but I'm not really sure. 28 to 74, Black, white, Hispanic, plus size, not, light, dark, doesn't matter. They're showing up differently and they're getting the results. So then now, hopefully, that you're believing a little bit more. I would like you to raise your hand if and only if what I teach you tonight sounds reasonable and fair. And if it does, you'll do it. So the question is what Allison's saying reasonable? Is what Allison is teaching fair? Therefore, am I willing to do it? Raise your hand if you agree. If you then at the end of this say, Allison's not reasonable, Allison's not fair, and I won't do it, that's cool. But if you say, I get what she's saying, this is not unreasonable, I can see how this makes sense, it's made sense for hundreds of others, then it can make sense for me, then I want you to raise your hand. Thank you, Bernice, and everyone else who's raising your hands. Okay, so why is now the time for you to take action? Thank you, Irina. Now is the time for you to take action for a couple of reasons. Number one, biologically, time is not on our side for a couple of different reasons. For my ladies who want to have children, time is not on our side. I'm not here to browbeat you about that. I know that you hear it all the time. So I'm not trying to stick on it. You know, and I know, and we know, right? So if you want children biologically, time is not on your side. In life, time is not on our side. You know what they say, life is short. And so we are mere mortals. It's time for us to do anything that's on our mind and our hearts now and not tomorrow and not the next day, right? Valentine's Day is 2 days out. Some of you, I would imagine everyone on here probably does not have a date and would have liked one. Many of us didn't have the date in 2025 and didn't have it in 2024 and didn't have it in 2023. And I don't want 2027 to look the same way. So now is the time to take action. New relationships are starting every day, and one of those relationships should be yours. You are building the lifestyle that you desire, and you can do it. And I know that you can, but it's not easy when doing it alone, and it's not cheap when you're doing it alone. I have an issue with my pipes and my sewage right now. Do you think I'm the one who picked up the phone and called the plumber? Absolutely not. Can I? Sure, I can. Do I want to? No, I don't. You know what I did do? I washed my baby's hair today, blew dry it for the first time. She's getting braids for the first time tomorrow. That's what I want to do, right? I'm leaving him to do what he wants to do and what he's good at. You can do life on your own. You can build the lifestyle that you desire on your own, but I don't want you to have to do it on your own. And I don't want you to have to fund it either all on your own, right? And it's important that you have someone that you can rely on. We just got out of an ice storm here in New York, and many states, I think it was like 20 states across the country in the last couple of weeks. How many of you guys either had to dig out your own cars or pay somebody else to do it? There's just certain things that's not a nice word to say, beneath us. It's beneath you, and you should not have to do it. So that means now is the time that we have to take action. So this training is for you if number one, you desire a healthy, committed relationship. You tend to self-sabotage your relationships. That's number two. Number three, you date the same types all the time, different face, same behavior. If you are afraid to love again, this training is for you. But most importantly, if you are ready to show up differently, if you're ready to finally put in effort and not date the person who just happened to you just happened to meet on the train or someone happened to hook you up with. No, we have to be intentional. You have been intentional with your career. You have been intentional with your physical health, your mental health. You've been intentional about your credit and your finances. It's time for you to be intentional with your love life too. We're not just dating whoever we happen to meet. So by the end of the training, you'll be able to, number one, analyze your personal shortcomings. That's important. It's a part that's not popular. It's a part that's not liked. But if we are not reflective about how we're showing up in our love lives, then we are going to repeat the cycle. Number two, brainstorm an action plan as to how we're going to make you more desirable. And most importantly, repel unqualified people, inappropriate matches. Lastly, how are we going to gain the confidence in your ability to be found by the partner that you deserve? Okay. So I know what you want because you're here. You're still here after I read off everything that you need to be in order for this to make sense. So you want a loving, fulfilling partnership, you want marriage, and you are not asking for too much. I know a lot of people feel like, is it too much? But you may have some fears. We must squash those fears before we get into the nitty gritty of how to navigate dating differently and what I teach my clients to get them into the best relationships of their lives. So number one, if you have a fear that you'll never find an equally yoked partner or that the dating scene is too rough or there aren't good enough potential mates out there, or if you're afraid to open up again. If any of those four fears exist in you, we have to squash them, right? Some additional fears. Oh, I'm never going to have the family that I always dreamed or desired. Or I'm constantly being ostracized. I'm the only one who doesn't have a partner. I don't get invited. Or when I do, I'm the third wheel. And worst case scenario, especially as we get older, some of us are fearing just blatantly dying alone. But this is some truth that I want to drop on you so that you are clear that this is not going to happen to you if you are strategic. All right. Number one, not a fear, reality. For many of us, your picker is broken. That means that you're not vetting, you're not gathering the information that you need to assess whether or not the guy in front of you is an appropriate match, and you are not using discernment to walk away from the people who do not have your best interests at heart. So that's one mistake that you may be making. Number two, you believe that there are no good men. And what do I just say? You're right and you're wrong. As long as you believe there are no good men, you're not going to do any activities to meet them. So you're right. Your experience is that there are none. But if you are strategic, and we will get to this about where you present yourself and how you present yourself, you're going to be surrounded with good men. Good is just the bare minimum. The next level is, do they want marriage and are they compatible? That's what we're looking for. A long-term committed relationship if marriage is not necessarily your thing, but commitment is. Another mistake that you're making is that you don't socialize enough. Socializing meaning online or offline. You have an unrealistic expectation. You might not articulate it this way because we all know it's unrealistic, it's delusional, but he's not going to be delivered to your house like an Amazon package. Christmas just passed, he was not underneath the tree. Prayer alone is not enough. Prayer without works is dead. So we have to show up in order to get the attention that we desire, to get the matches that we desire, so that we have the potential suitors that we desire, so we can date with fun again and then get into the relationship that we dream of. Okay. So now, again, what did I say? No fluff, hard and fast. These are ways that you can fix these things. So number one, fixing that picker that's broken. You need to have a line of questioning from the beginning. And in order for you to have a line of questioning and emphasis from the beginning, you first need to be clear on what you're looking for in a partner and a partnership. I call those the non-negotiables. You should have a pen and paper. You should be making a list of what you require out of a partner in order for him to be an appropriate match. And then you need to have questions you should be asking behaviors you should be paying attention to so that you can assess whether or not the guy in front of you is an appropriate match. So for my clients in my 12-month mentorship, we create those lists of non-negotiables together. I give them all the questions to ask, all the behaviors to pay attention to so that they don't have to worry about am I asking, when am I asking, how do I ask? Right? But in order to fix your broken picker, you need to ask the tough questions early. Early meaning on the phone, early meaning date one. And in order to even know what questions to ask, you first need to be clear on what you desire, right? So that's how we fix the broken picker. If your issue is that you just don't believe there are any good men out there, maybe you've been through traumatic experiences and you've witnessed the heartbreak of many other women around you, and now you're doubting whether or not they are good men, this is how you, right? So I need you to retrain your brain. That retraining of the brain may look like journaling. That's what I do in my 12-month mentorship. It can look like affirmations. It can look like changing the algorithm, right? So I just saw, just today, I went on Threads, and Threads says, please let us know what you want in your algorithm, right? Kind of like a search engine. So you would write, I want to see happy, committed relationships. I want to see cute babies. I want to see puppies. You have the ability to create your algorithm, to mold it. So if you are on social media and you are consuming content that's man hating, woman hating, uh, marriage hating, negative, incel, red pill stuff, change your algorithm. When you change the content you consume, you're going to change your output and your belief system. Okay. How do we fix it? Part three, the not socializing. This one, y'all know me. This is why you bought this class and this is why you joined me live. Suck it up, buttercup. Now we can be strategic about where we go. We can be strategic about how long we stay there, right? Especially if I'm talking to my introverts. I hate going outside, right? But I have to, and so do you. Outside is number one. Dating apps should be a secondary support. We should not be primarily relying on dating apps. It should be secondary. Okay. Now, y'all know me. I'm not going to lie to you. Are you going to still meet some duds? Yes. For every happy couple that you know, think about one happy couple that you know. If you don't know any, you know me. There are X amount of failed relationships that came before it. So my husband, I think, might have been in three serious relationships, three other women before me. That means he has a 25% success rate. One out of four of the women he married, had children with, and is happy with. 75 of his relationships failed. Now, of course, he learned from it and all those types of things. But the point is, the nature of the game is that you have not hit this out the park from the get-go. That's why we're here. The nature of the game is that even using these practices, you may not hit it out the park with the first guy that you meet. The intention is not that you knock it out the park with the first guy that you meet tomorrow with these new skills that you have. The intention is that every person that you get on the phone with is closer to. Every man that you go on a date number one with is closer to. You are now graduating to more dates. You are graduating to longer, healthy, committed relationships with quality men. That's the nature of the game. It's the nature of the game. Okay. So at this point, I want you guys to jot this down, screenshot it, and you will get the replay in a few hours. I want you to be reflective in a journal. What are some of the mistakes that you've made out of the three? One, two, three, all, right? And what specific action are you going to take moving forward so that you don't continue those mistakes? Like I said, affirmations, journaling, changing your algorithm. What are you going to do differently? I'm going to go out once a month, whatever that looks like, create that plan, right? For my clients, we create the plan together. And then again, going back to fixing that broken picker, we need to be very clear on our six, sometimes I say seven non-negotiables. What are the must-haves I have to have in a partner in order for him to be an appropriate match for me? And then I know what questions to ask him early on. Okay. So now that we have the vetting, the discernment, we know we have to get clear on what we're looking for. We know what questions to ask, what behaviors to pay attention to. Now and in a little bit, we're going to be around the right types of guys, right? But we also have to make sure that we are the catch, because what we don't want to have is that we know what we want, we know what questions to ask, we're getting around the types of guys who have what we desire, but they're not interested in us. We cannot have that. We cannot have that. So what are we doing to make sure that we are the catch versus us trying to do the catching? So there's a three-step approach that I teach within this, just in the leveling up part, right? So that we can get into position to attract the types of guys that we like. Because again, we can't have it that the ideal guy that we want doesn't want us back. All right. So it's called the SSS approach. This is how we're leveling up. Number one, self-reflect. We have to be honest about the way that we're showing up, both in and out. And what I do with my clients is I help them to identify one behavior that they show that's internal, right? A behavior that they express that's undesirable, argumentative, passive aggressive, poor communication, poor money manager, something that they do, a behavior that they exhibit that would make being in relationship with them or marrying them more difficult than what it should be. That gives a guy pause, right? And one outside, what's one thing that we could do to level up our appearance? I know it's shallow, but the reality is you like him because he's handsome. So he like you because you're beautiful. So that means that if there's something, if it means clearing the skin, wearing braces, getting hair restoration, if it's losing weight, if it's gaining weight, if it's changing our fashion, if it's wearing a little bit more makeup than what we're accustomed to, leveling up our appearance so that we can attract and get the attention that we desire. Self reflect, right? What is it? Identify first. Number two is to step up. Now I'm going to actually do the work. So if it's poor money management, then I am going to work with a financial advisor, get my affairs in order, blah 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 blah, right? If it's the skin, I'm going to reach out to the dermatologist or the esthetician. Whatever it is that we've decided, one in, one out, that we know we need to work on and show up as a better version of ourselves for ourselves as well as for the benefit of others, then that's what we do need to do. This is the action step. Step up. And then the last part is sit back. We're never chasing anyone who does not want what we want. I cannot make that message any clearer to you. It does not matter how beautiful you are, it doesn't matter how well you cook or other activities you do in other rooms. If y'all know what you cannot convince someone to be with you or to marry you if they don't want it. And you don't even want to be in a position to try to convince them because then that means that's how quickly they'll change their minds. Absolutely not. So you sit back and allow the attention to come towards you. Okay. So I do want to take a little commercial break here because I know that I'm teaching and I'm giving you guys hard and fast things, but I want you to understand that this is not only coming from my expertise as a counselor for the last 13 and a half years. It's not only coming from being a coach for 6 years. It's not only coming from hundreds of testimonials from my clients, but it's also coming from my own personal story. So this is a picture of me when I was 26. I know I look rough, right? It's not about how I look. It's about the arm that's here, right? And if you notice the complexion of that arm, that is not the complexion of my husband, if you get what I'm saying, right? This gentleman I was with for 4 years with no direction, no next steps. I was his girlfriend as if we were in high school, okay? At year four, well, let me get through this first. This is me at 27. This is my 27th birthday, September 27. I don't know what year that was, 20, whatever. My girlfriends, beautiful girlfriends. And trust me, I value girlfriends. But for my birthday, I wanted to be with my man, my man, my man, right? Where is he? Absent, not present. Okay. This is me for my friend's wedding. This is her wedding. Look how skinny I was when I was 28. Do you see a gentleman in tow? Absolutely not. Now I'm the third wheel. I'm sure many of you have felt this way going to weddings and being sad at somebody else's wedding. That sucks. And you're thinking, I'm being a negative Nancy at this poor lady's wedding. You don't want that for yourself. Being the third wheel, being the only single one. I didn't like this. Same guy, right? No direction, no next steps. And this is my 30th birthday. My best friend threw me a surprise birthday party. And this is where I drew the line. Okay. And Drew, I put an asterisk because my husband's name is Andrew. At that 30th birthday party, I said, absolutely not. I am not going another birthday, another wedding, another trip, another Valentine's Day of being disappointed because this man doesn't know how to show up. I am going to end this relationship that has not served me. So when I say I understand what it's like to date all the wrong people and to waste time, I personally understand that. And after that 30th birthday party, I met Andrew Wellington. So the corny pajamas, we went to a pajama party here, here you go. And traveling to Bali and having a plus one for a wedding, right? I got that with Andrew. And taking silly photos. This is in LA and this is in Vegas and this was in Aruba, right? Having the vacations with someone who wants to travel, who wants to live. This is Andrew meeting my dad down in Florida when we were engaged, right? Us going on dates and having a good time. This is what I wanted out of life, a life partner, birthdays and Valentine's Day. And then this is us when we got engaged, right? I don't know if you guys see the what was it, Snapchat? The Snapchat, the Snapchat filter, right? This is a while ago. All that being said, we have to do something different to get into the relationships that we desire, and we have to let go of the dead weight. I don't know if there's somebody that's on this call today who's back and forth with an ex you know you have no business with, who's in a situationship that you know is not going to develop into anything, because if it would have already. This is your signal. If you don't walk away with anything else, I'm teaching tonight. I'm giving you hard and fast steps, right? How to fix your picker. We're going to go through where to go. We're going to go through dating apps in a moment. But if you don't walk away with anything else, if it's you out there that I can feel who's wasting time and going back and forth with an ex or situationship, I'm telling you, let it go now. Okay. You don't have to choose between your career or your education and a partner. Yes, you can have it all, a balanced all, but an all nonetheless. All right. So, again, what are some of the mistakes that we're making on the dating scene, and how are we going to fix it? Choosing to stay in. We cannot have that. We cannot have that. I know, again, in New York, it's been a very cold snap. But outside of the last 3 weeks, I don't want to hear nothing. This weekend, well, you might not want to go out this weekend with the couples. You might want to kind of log out. But the weekend after that, here in New York, is going to be 45. I'm confident the temperature's going up across the country, right? And potentially around the world. I don't want to hear, I don't feel like it. Ain't no good men out there anyway. I don't want to hear it'll work out eventually on its own. It hasn't. So that means that we have to be proactive about putting ourselves out there to be around equally yoked, marriage minded men. This is one of my clients. Her name is Abby. She has a son from a previous relationship. She got into the program within 6 months. She's in a healthy, committed relationship within a year. She was engaged within a year and a half. They bought a house within, I want to say, probably got married like a month after they closed, right? Because she put herself around like-minded, equally yoked, marriage-minded men. She went out to the events I told her to go to through our program, and that's where she met her now husband, right? And the father figure to her son. So I just want to show you guys this really quick clip of, this is the day that they closed. They're going into their house, and this is her son, his stepson, and they gave him the ability to be the first person to walk into their brand new house in California. She's doing well for herself, but when you have a partner, it's a different life.
Okay. Turn it the other way. No, the other way, Kai. Yes. Yes, one more. Good job. Go, best. Go. That's it. Okay, now. Now push the thing. Good. Oh. Say, welcome to my new house.
Let's get to the new house. Okay, so again, establishing generational wealth, breaking generational curses, having a father figure who's in the home. This is how you have to show up. You're leveling up, showing up as the best version of you. You are physically putting yourself out there as well as on dating apps. You are clear on exactly what you're looking for in a partner and a partnership. You're asking the right questions, and it's a rinse and repeat. Now, I know I said our training was an hour and a half, but that's it. That is the strategy in 30 seconds. Okay. I need you to have a mindset shift, because while I just laid everything out, if you don't believe you have control, I don't have control over my life. I don't have control over my love life. It just depends on who happens to come across me. I don't have time to date, or something's wrong with me. That's what makes me undesirable. I'm over 35, or I have a child, or I'm this, I'm that. As long as you believe these things to be true, it will become your reality. But the truth is that you absolutely have control over your life. You absolutely have the time. You just have to make it. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. And I don't believe in a single soulmate. I believe that there are plenty of people out there that are a great match for you, and you can manifest. But I want to be mindful of the word manifest means you're going to create it. It's not going to be something that you just write 100 times in a notebook, right? It's going to be something that you have to physically do to show up differently to create the life that you desire. You have control, you have the time, and nothing is wrong with you. Okay. So, a little quick story time, and I'm sure this is going to be reflective of some of y'all. This is a learning opportunity, right? So, I want to talk to you guys about one of my former clients. We're going to call her Babiana, Babiana the Builder, right? She's a medical doctor, and she would constantly choose projects as men. Number one, these men constantly she would choose were unwilling to commit. Situationship after situationship. It doesn't graduate after a few dates. It doesn't graduate after they've become physical. She constantly chooses people and men based on their potential and not on their reality. Right now, he does not have a driver's license. Right now, he does not have stable income. Right now, he does not have a decent relationship with his children's mom. Right now, he's couch surfing. We're not talking about what they could be. What they could be is what you would do if you were in their shoes. It's what they are. We're not 19 in a college dorm where everyone's potential. We are 35, we are 40, we are 45, we are 50, we are 55. It's who they are right now. Now, of course, there's room for growth for everybody, but we're not making decisions based on what we think and project to be their potential, right? So, Babiana the builder kept choosing projects, people that she could build up and fix. She thought that she could build a bear, like build a man. And one of the things that really held her back is I don't want to start over. But you are starting over each and every day with someone who does not have the capacity to show up the way that you desire every single day. So you're better off letting go now and then repositioning yourself on the dating scene. How? We said level up to show up as the best version of you. Be clear on exactly what you're looking for in a partner and partnership and ask those hard questions now. Get on the right dating apps with a winning profile. We'll get into that. Be around like minded, equally yoked men. We'll get into that. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Okay. So, what did I do? I challenged her to demand more, right? This is another one of my clients, Michelle from upstate New York. Demand more. When you increase your standards, you are going to eliminate inappropriate matches early and often, and you don't waste time with people who are not right for you. So you can right your wrongs and you can erase the mistakes you've made in the past by doing something different moving forward. Okay. So now here we go. Some might ask, well, Allison, you said I need to make my list of non-negotiables. You said that I need to be clear on exactly what I'm looking for, right? Well, how do I get clear? You are going to establish two SMART goals that are around relationships. And that is going to be, in essence, you're answering the question, how do I envision my life with a partner? What's the vision you have? Are you guys traveling the world? Are you raising children to be amazing citizens in our society? What's the vision? Right? Write it down, get it clear, make it plain. And this is not a description of the person themselves. This is not the non negotiables. We'll get to that. This is the vision of my life with a partner. What do we prioritize? What don't we prioritize? What are we repeating that we've seen in the past? What are we absolutely never going to repeat? Right? And now we've done that. Now we move on to those seven non negotiables. What are the things you're looking for in a man that is an absolute must? And I have a big asterisk says not their salary, not a particular salary. I am no fool. I know we live in a capitalistic society. I understand that many times we want either to make the same as our partner or for them to potentially out earn us, right? I get that. However, a particular salary says nothing. You date the head cardiologist at the hospital downtown, and he has two alimonies he's paying, child support to three children under 10, so he got at least 8 years left plus college. He has a house that's upside down in his mortgage. That $400,000 salary that cardiologist makes means nothing, right? So we have to get this six-figure thing, and we need to look at salary and then expenses. That's how we determine if finances is a thing for you, right? So again, we have our goals, we have our non-negotiables, we have them listed. We then generate questions we should be asking to assess whether or not the guy in front of us is an appropriate match. All right. So let's review. We've talked about how to level up. We're showing up as our best selves, right? We've talked about the importance in terms of fixing your picker, how we need to have a list of our goals and non-negotiables and ask those questions early on so that we can assess these gentlemen, right? Now we've leveled up. We know what to talk about. Here comes the in-person interactions. Obviously, you must go out. Okay. I would limit who you go out with, right? It needs to be either you by yourself if you feel comfortable and safe, or it needs to be you and a friend, a pair. What is it? Two's company, three's a crowd. When you have 3 and 4 and 5 girlfriends, you've now made it ladies' night. And I want you to think about the path of least resistance, right? LaQuanda's a beautiful woman. She's on one side of the party. I'm a beautiful woman. I'm on the other side of the party. I'm with 5 other women. LaQuanda is by herself. Which one of us is the man who we're both interested in more likely to approach? LaQuanda, path of least resistance. She's by herself. He only has to buy one drink. If she rejects him, the rejection will probably be quiet. For me, he has to buy me a drink. He got to buy all my girlfriends a drink. And if we laugh him out of town, it's going to be obvious and embarrassing. So we're limiting it to pairs, you and one other person or you by yourself. Monitor your non-negotiables, right? You should be pleasant. You should be smiling. You should be warm. You should be welcoming. I want you to think about like a old sitcom when there's a new neighbor that's in the neighborhood and the people from the neighborhood come and deliver cookies, right? Like that's how warm and welcoming you should be. So make sure you're monitoring your non-negotiables and slow down. I'm in New York City. We're fast. I even talk fast, right? I might have to watch this twice. You got to slow down. If you give the impression to someone that you are too busy and they can read a room, they're going to leave you alone because you're too busy. Allocate the time to move through your supermarkets a little slower. Allocate the time to walk to your destination a little slower. If you're in a rush, they're not going to stop you. Anyone with sense is not going to stop you because you look obviously busy. Okay. As we continue on, in-person interactions, do some of the approaching. You don't have to do all. You don't even have to flirt. I don't teach my clients flirting, right? That's not even a necessity. If they're interested in you, they're going to take it, meaning take the lead as soon as they meet you. But maybe they didn't see you. So you can walk over and say, "Oh, James, I see your name tag. James, hi, it's nice to meet you. Is this the first time you've been to this event? Oh, it's amazing. The artists, they are so talented. I'm just having a great time. Well, all right, James, it's nice to meet you." And you turn around and you walk away. He'll say, "Oh, Irina, before you leave, let's connect." Let them do that work. But there's nothing wrong with you introducing yourself, welcoming someone, or asking a question. "Hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. I've been looking for the women's bathroom. I know, obviously, you're a guy. Do you know where it is?" "Oh, I'll walk you." Excellent. Right? You don't have to flirt. Engage in short conversation. When you are approached, make it short and sweet. We're not allowing this guy to monopolize our whole dang night. We didn't come out there to meet one guy. We came out to meet as many as possible while having fun at the event. So we're not letting some one guy that we just met monopolize talk in our face all day and all night, unless he's striking and amazing. All right. And then you can help to transition to the phone or social media. So once you recognize they're interested, you can say, he says something like, "Oh, Irina, wait, before you go, let's exchange. Oh, yes, great. Would you prefer my number?" Or facilitate, not offer. "Hey, wait, before you go, wait. Facilitate. "Oh, sure. Would you prefer my number?" Or, and then be a part of the conversation. All right. You can be coy without being difficult. So now we have the outside. Now let's talk about online. How do we optimize your dating profile? So again, we have those non-negotiables. I don't want to waste time on it. We went through it 3 times. You need clear photos of you and only you. Not your girlfriend, maybe a dog, not your sister, not your mom, never a man. There should be no second person. But if you happen to just absolutely don't listen to me about that, you cannot have a man. I don't care how old he is. He's my dad. Maybe you like them older. I don't care if supposedly effeminate he is. I don't care. Maybe you like them a little bit more feminine. Never a man, and there should be no second person in your photos, period. Okay? You want no confusion. You should have a very simple 3-line bio. Your name, something you like to do, and why you're on this app. What does that sound like? "Hi, my name is Allie, and I'm super passionate about youth sports. I'm a cheerleading coach here in Brooklyn, New York. I'm on this app because I'm looking for someone who is blank blank. If that sounds like you, feel free to swipe right. My name, something that's interesting about me, something I'm passionate about, not your work ever. Don't ever lead with your work. Ever, 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 ever. You don't want anyone to target you because they can tell from your title you probably make good money. And again, what I do has nothing to do with you. Something that's interesting about me so that, oh, Allie, the cheerleading coach, right? Allie, right. And then why I'm on this app. I am looking for a long-term relationship with a gentleman who prioritizes blank, or a gentleman who values family and community, whatever. Swipe right. Call to action at the end. Sit clean. We're not writing a whole dissertation about who you are. Let them get to know that over the phone. And then for your dating app, I need you to choose 3 prompts. Your prompts are your drop down. I'm teaching tonight, y'all. I hope y'all are taking notes. This is exactly what I teach my clients on how to create winning dating profiles. Prompt sandwich, 3 prompts. Those are the drop downs that you kind of fill in the blank that says, I'll introduce you to my friends if, and then you fill in the blank, 3 of them. And it's called a sandwich because it's soft, hard, soft, bread, meat, bread. You think about any sandwich as a piece of bread, meat, and then bread. Okay. So your piece of bread, your first prompt that's on the top is going to be lighthearted, easy, comedic. It's going to be something interesting about you that's not romantic. So it's going to be something, Bernice might put something like, "On a Saturday, you can find me running around the track, and then making sure that my house is nice and tidy for the weekend. Not about romance. All it did was tell me something interesting about Bernice. Now I know she's into fitness. It gave me some insight as to who she is. If I'm not into fitness, I'm not clicking on Bernice, and good, because she don't want to date a guy who's not into it anyway, right? So you're giving some insight as to who you are. So it gives them an opportunity to kick off a conversation. Oh, Bernice, you run around the track. How I don't know. I don't run. Forgive me. I shouldn't have used this example. How quick is your a mile? Do you do 8 minute miles? Whatever. It gives them an opportunity to kick off conversation. It gives an idea for a first date. Ooh, Bernice told me that she likes fitness. Maybe we could do rock climbing. Maybe we could do ice skating. So your first piece of bread, your first prompt, your first drop down is going to be light, easy, comedic, feminine, sweet, soft, not romantic, gives you some insight about you. Your second prompt is hard. That's the meat of our sandwich. This is the one that's going to qualify them without being mean or nasty or jaded. We're never, if you're a F boy, don't reach out to me. Never, right? We never come across that way. So the hard is going to meat of our sandwich as the prompt is going to be why I'm here. So it's going to be something along the lines of the quickest way to my heart is I'll know you're the one if I'll introduce you to my family if I'm looking for this in a relationship, something that says relationship. It's a relationship question. You're going to answer it. Don't give them the whole kit and caboodle. Don't give them all the non negotiables and your goals. You don't want them to put on a whole fake face for months and mislead you. Give them a little something. But this is where you say, this is why I'm here. This is what I want. And then soft, again, another piece of bread, lighthearted, easy, comedic, nothing heavy, gives us some insight about you as a person. Okay? So at this point, you guys, we have some choices that we have to make, right? And so let's go through some of those choices. Again, I'm going to invite you guys into my mentorship at an extremely amazing discount, and then we'll do Q&A at the end. So let's analyze what some of our choices are moving forward. I do want to take a moment to hear from one of my former clients so you guys can get more insight as to how this system works and the fact that you need to work it.
Hi, my name is Kristen, and I took part in Allison's 8-week coaching program, The Partner You Deserve. Now, I'm sure you've seen my hands or pictures of me and my fiance at this point, and I always give Allison photos because I want other people to know that they can have the love they deserve as well. To give you some background, I took her course December of 2023. I finished January 2024. I met the love of my life February of 2024, and we got engaged June of 2025. I never thought in a million years that that could happen. And I began to set those declarations inside of her program. And I am just so thankful and blessed that I'm in this season of partnership, that I'm in this season of love, and just wanted to make sure to share. If you are interested in making a change in your love life, in your family, hit Allison right now. Love y'all. And I hope that you go for the partner you deserve.
Thank you, Kristen. Okay. So with that being said, I just want to take a couple of minutes to talk you through the mentorship. She called it an 8-week mentorship. That's what it was. I extended it to a full year last year because I want to make sure that I am holding your hands through the entire process from being unsure and unclear into the best relationship of your life, again, in under 12 months. So, what do we do in my coaching program? I help you get clear on exactly what you want in a partner, those non-negotiables, so that you can be found by the loving mate that you deserve. I help you reflect on where you went wrong. Remember, we talked about that SSS approach. What are some of the behaviors and traits that I'm exhibiting that does not allow me to show up as my best self? And we create an action plan together as to how you're going to change those behaviors. We co-create and optimize your dating profile. So if you have a dating profile and it's on the right app, then we optimize it together. I choose your photos for you. I write your bio for you. I write your prompts for you. And I teach you how to engage on the app with gentlemen in the messages so that it transitions to a phone call and from phone calls to first date and on. If you're not on apps or you're not on the right apps, I also give you which ones are the right one for you. Okay. And I teach you how to master in-person dating, even as an introvert. I don't like going outside. I don't like meeting people. I like to talk. I like to talk to my people, right? I get it. But we have to be strategic about positioning ourselves in real time, in real spaces to meet like-minded, equally yoked, marriage-minded men. I help you build confidence so that you are prepared to begin dating again with intention and with focus. And this is one of the more important things is learning how to be prepared for a committed relationship, because some of us think that the biggest issue is getting into it. And then once we're into it, it's a different story, right? So learning how to be prepared so that you are building the relationship that you desire moving forward. You're building the family, the legacy, and all the things. Okay. So who is my coaching for? So who is it not for, I should say. If you're not interested in being a committed relationship with a single person, it's not for you. If you're not ready to face the fact that you've been making some mistakes and let's adjust it accordingly, it's not for you. If you aren't ready to take action and take accountability for the role that you've played in your life, or if you think that all men ain't ish, then this program is not for you. And so I'd like to ask you all, right? How much do you think a lifelong joyous partnership and family is worth? Is it 5K, 10, 25? Well, over the next 48 hours, will accepting Klarna, Afterpay, and credit cards, I'm actually taking 45% off of my coaching program. So normally the coaching program is 5,500. That's 12 months of live instruction getting you from single to a healthy committed relationship. And instead of it being 55, it is $2,500 today. You can, or in the next 48 hours, you can start anytime. So I've had some people who are in the middle of a move or they were going through a transition. They locked in their spot and they started 6 months or a year later. But it's time to do something different to get a different result. And if you are not in a position to do in full at this moment, I do also offer in-house installment plans, which would require 500 down, and then you pay the balance over the next 8 weeks. Okay. So again, we have choices, right? You could do nothing. You could not take this leap of faith, but understand that if you don't do anything different, you are not going to change your result. Or you can make a small investment today. And when I say small, what I mean is that you are investing in yourself to show up differently, to have an absolutely different result, which is the love life that you desire. And if you don't sign up immediately, I want you to ask yourself why. Is it the time? Because you can start the program literally whenever you want. If it's the money, let's be honest, it costs you more to manage your whole life by yourself than it does to do it with a partner. And if you're skeptical, I've helped women in, doesn't matter their age, their size, their race, if they're moms, if they're not moms, divorcees, never married. If I've helped them, and I have, then I can help you too. Okay. So again, the real question is, what does it cost not to invest? If you're going to continue to feel lonely or emotionally burned out, continuing to waste time, continuing to waste money, or for those who want to have children, you're delaying that opportunity for yourself. It's time to do something different to get a different result. All right. So again, from 5,500, we're taking 45% off, and that becomes 2,500. Or you can do the deposit. It's a little bit more, but you could do the deposit of 500 and then pay the balance over the next 8 weeks. All right. So at this time, I want to thank all of you guys for being here for tonight's training. I'm going to now put the link in the chat. I'm also going to text you the link if you guys submitted your phone number, and I'm going to email you the link to register over the next 48 hours. I'm going to stop sharing, drop the link in the chat, and this is our Q&A time. So I'm going to turn the microphones over to you guys. Please raise your hands with whatever questions that you have. I've been talking for the last 53 minutes straight. So if you can raise your hands and unmute, I'd appreciate it. If not, and you absolutely have to put it in the chat, then you could go ahead and do that. And I'll read it off as well if it's an absolute must. Okay. Anyone with questions for us this evening? Don't be shy.
I have a question. I think I
Hey.
raised my hand in the reactions. Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Okay.
What's up, Rwanda?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent.
I just recently ended a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and I keep hearing a lot on social media about allowing yourself the time to heal.
Mm-hmm.
How much time do you suggest before
That's an
I
excellent question.
jump back out there?
Yep, excellent question. So there's some things that are not hard and fast in terms of timelines, right? You'll hear some things about like half the time you were together. So what if you were in a 20-year marriage? I gotta wait 10 years. That's ridiculous. So I don't give time specifically. I would ask a series of questions. So the first question that I would ask is, When you think of this man, are you still upset? Do you cry at night thinking about what didn't happen, what should have happened, blah, blah, blah?
I think about it, but it doesn't make me cry anymore.
All right, so you're not emotional about it.
I'm not emotional about it. No.
Excellent. When your phone rings, does your heart drop hoping that he's the one on the other line?
It did for like the first 2 months, but now it doesn't anymore.
Yep. And my last question is when you drive past the places that you used to frequent, does it make you sad to say, oh, that's where we went on our first date?
I don't even remember where we went on our first
That's the
date.
answer. And I'm telling, this is not something off the cuff. These are the three questions that I ask every single time. Do you still get upset when you think about the person? Does your heart drop when the phone rings, hoping that it's them? And when you pass locations you used to frequent, does it bother you? You see, I said that off the top of my head. This is the strategy. If not, then we're done.
Thank you.
Yep. So it's time to get in. To be very clear, it's time to get back in. Is it Kamaria? Kamaria?
Camaria, yeah.
Yes. Hi, Kamaria.
Hi. I'm someone who hasn't dated in quite a number of years, and I guess I almost kind of developed like an awkwardness again about it. So I guess I'm wondering, is it healthy to jump right back into dating again, whether it be online or trying to go out and meet people, or do I need to? I get definitely rolling your program just to find a different strategy, just to feel comfortable back on the dating scene again.
Mm-hmm. So you said some language here. You said jump back in. You haven't been in a long time. So
Yeah.
so anytime that you get in would be jumping in. What other method would you use other than jumping back in? How would you tip your toe, so to speak?
I don't know. I guess looking to develop friendships or just for companionship at first, rather than looking for a relationship.
Nope.
Or okay.
Nope. Nope. And I'll tell you why. There's going to be a group of gentlemen who are going to take that to their advantage and they're going to say, well, you said you didn't want a commitment anyway.
And
Well,
waste
you
time.
said, Tamiko knows, well, you said, so I don't know why, right? And then now you flip the script on them and now you're the bad guy because that is what you said. I was just looking for
Hmm.
companionship. I was just looking for a friend. Well, me too, her friend with benefits. And then now there's a confusion. You know what you want, go after it.
Okay.
You know what you want, go after it.
Okay. Makes sense.
Right? And
Right.
so, like I said, we went through these strategies, but I would highly recommend if there's anyone who's been out of the dating scene for a long time, this is the perfect opportunity for you to get into a mentorship program so I can hold your hand through the process so that you're not doing it alone, especially if it has been a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I went ahead, guys, and I put the link for the 12-month mentorship at 45% off. Again, normally is 5,500 for 12 months of live in-person real support. It's 2,500. Again, that's in full. You can use Klarna, Afterpay, or credit cards. If you need an installment plan, it's also in that link. You'd put 500 down, and then the balance would be over the next 2 months, the next 8 weeks. It is a little bit more to do the installment plan, so you'll just choose whatever is the best fit for you. Bernice?
Hi,
Hi.
I wanted to know your thoughts on because I'm a person who I do most things by myself. I don't like really have no problem with that and I'm used to it, but I have a hard time bringing myself to go to singles events. So I wanted to know how do you feel about singles events and any advice on mustering the courage up to go to those particularly.
Yep. So I actually am not a fan of singles events. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I've never recommended anyone go to one. And the
Okay.
only reason why I'm not a fan is because I have never seen an event that the ratio was right, that there were
Mm,
enough women to enough men. And so
okay.
I'm not getting, I could go out with my own girlfriends. I'm not getting dressed to go hang out with strange women, right?
Okay.
At least that's not
Yeah.
the intent. Like sometimes we do go to like sisterhood type. This ain't it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
unless I have evidence, meaning I've seen on their social media, I've seen on their websites, I've seen the photos of the events, I can pan and I can count, and the ratio is in my favor, either a perfect split or more men than women in the space, I'm not paying to go. Because then
Okay.
what? Now we're all vying for the same guys? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
No.
I have never seen, and I've been doing this work for 6 years, I have never seen a singles event that was balanced.
Okay. That's
If you
that's
see it,
good
go. If you
feedback.
don't see it, don't go.
Okay. Thank you for that.
No problem. Anybody else? Yes, Irina.
Yes, hi, Alison. So my question to you would be if the program is appropriate for someone who's already discerning with one specific person. I don't think he's the one,
Hmm.
but yeah, so I'm like we're not really committed, but I don't know if I should let him go. And I think my vetting process is very is not fully like how it should be.
Hmm.
Um, and also, I'm looking for someone because I've already had like a coach call with you. Like
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember.
A consultation. Hmm.
Yes, and I'm looking for someone who's at least like I have other criterias, but one of the criteria there that is very hard to find is someone who's religious.
Yes.
So already like the to go to an event already like there is no chance, right? Because the only this criteria eliminates almost everyone.
Hmm.
So I am yeah, like I have to rely on online dating and yeah. So this, for example, this person is in Europe and I'm in Canada, so like it's already very hard. So anyway, I think yeah, I should get more help with like vetting to see if it's really worth it or it's not. But
Hmm.
the other alternatives are not there actually.
Right.
And I
So
know I
remind me
don't
again,
know.
Irina.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you. Remind me again. Was it that the gentleman had to be Catholic when we spoke? What?
Yes, he has to be
Yes.
a Catholic and practicing. And yeah, you told me back then that like you don't think the program would be for me because I had other criteria that
Hmm.
I think I don't have anymore. But this one really is still very important. So
Yes.
yeah, I think I didn't lower my standards, but let's say maybe I've made some progress.
Reprioritize them. You
Yes,
reprioritize. Yes. Hmm.
yes. So I
So
don't
this is
know if because it's not like I am attached to him. It's not like I'm like I don't think at all, or I would be blank slate, when
mhm.
if I start a program. But it's more to see if this particular person is good, and if not, to move on to someone else. Yeah.
Yes, I understand. So a couple of things. If you've reprioritized, and I don't remember all of the specific details, and you and I can have another call, another 15-minute consultation if you like. I'll send you the link tonight, okay? Because I want to make sure that I get to everyone. But generally speaking, um, we'd have to look at what those non-negotiables are in comparison to where you live, because if I remember vaguely, I think that was a concern as well. But regarding this gentleman, if he wants to be with you in a committed relationship, he would snatch you off the market. When you date a man who's interested in you, they usually are rushing things. It'll be date number one, and they're like, Irina, I want to be committed. It's even with long distance too. I don't even want you to think that long distance is an issue because that's even more reason to try to keep you and reel you in. Okay, we're committed. Let's create a plan. How can we meet? Who can fly where? So, how long have you been dating this gentleman again?
But it's not like dating, right? Because he's on the other side.
Hmm.
So he's in Europe. So I like we met 3 times, okay?
Hmm.
So 1 week vacation. So I like around three weeks, let's say. But I've
Yeah.
been talking to him, but in a friendly manner, nothing like romantic.
Okay.
If it's
Okay.
been
So it's
almost
time. So
four
it's
years.
time. Yeah, yeah, it's time, Irina. Like he's not a consideration. He is a friend, just like any other friend. And so it's time for us to be more um intentional about the men that we are speaking with and that we are getting to know. Just very quickly for the benefit of everyone, if you are someone who has a very specific criteria, especially when it comes to religion, then that means the events that you should be attending has to have that religious element. I have a client who identifies with this very specific like a cultural identity, and she only wants to date men who are that have that specific identity. So we own in our program, I only find events for her that have that. because she can't go to any old thing, right? So if she's Israelite or she's whatever, like we have to go to those events. So with that being said, Irina, for you, it's going to have to be, and I remember there weren't a lot of Catholics in your town. Was that the issue?
Yes.
I remember now. Yes, yes, yes. So we're gonna have to be very strategic and we'll have to use religious online apps. And you, Irina, will have to lean in on dating apps more than the average person. That's the quick of it. But like I said, I'll send you a link tonight and you and I can talk for 15 minutes and let's reconvene, right? Because I want to help, but I'm not a person to take someone's money if I don't think that I can help them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
send you the link. Thank you. Stephanie, did you have your hand raised? I didn't see it anymore.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I really quickly, like, as far as marriage is concerned, how would you introduce the timeline factor? So for instance, if you want to get married 6 months to a year or 2 years.
Yep, excellent question. So you are not saying, "Hi, James. My name is Stephanie, and I believe that people should be married within a year and a half, and I think anything more than that is a waste of time." How are you? Never, right? While I want you to be clear about what you want, you're not giving them deadlines and timelines as someone that you've just met. That's just inappropriate, right? Instead, what you are assessing is their readiness for marriage. Because also, James might tell you off rip, "Oh no, I think it should be 3 years." And then he meets another woman and he's married in 6 months. So they don't even have like what they believe are hard and fast deadlines and timelines. They decide based on how they feel, right? I know we think that men don't feel too much, but they do. So, with that being said, it's more about how they feel. Well, one is their capacity. Do they have the capability to marry? Do they think that they are financially sound? Good men, the men that we like. If they don't feel that they're financially sound, they're not marrying anybody. And then, secondly, it's about the way you make them feel. So, what can we control? What information can we gather is capacity. You're going to ask questions around their work. So, James, what do you do? Oh, do you enjoy your work? Do you see yourself doing something else? Right? Once you gather information around their work and whether or not they're going to stick it out, are they retiring soon? What does retirement look like? Are they someone who jumps? Oh, I was working here 2 years ago, someplace else the year, right? You're trying to figure out whether or not they're financially stable. And I have in my mentorship, I spend an entire week on financial stability. Okay. So you're gathering, and we don't have the time for that, but you're gathering information around their financial stability. Once you've gathered that, you now know, okay, he has the capacity. Now it's about Stephen and I. What's his name? James. James and I, right? So am I the woman that he sees that he can marry himself to or with? And does he treat me as such? Right? So if this gentleman is calling every day and he's taking me out on dates and he's introducing me to family and he's future planning with me and he's showing up and he's consistent, then 9 times out of 10, he's financially sound and he treats me as a woman that he wants to be with. You're going to have that engagement in a year and a half, max. So again, the questioning isn't, "Hey, just so you know, this is my timeline." The questioning is around their financial stability, and your observation is around, how is he treating me? Is he treating me as someone who takes me seriously? Is he trying to snatch me off the market immediately because he recognizes my value and he's afraid someone else is going to swoop in? That I have to push him back because he's like, "First date, Stephanie, what are we doing? Like, let's get together." Right? So that's the methodology that you'll use. And again, all of the questions and all that kind of stuff, once you join the mentorship program, I spend an entire week on that. But we don't realize that money matters so much to them when they're deciding to join their lives with somebody else. We think, "Oh, we can just do this thing together. You don't have to have it perfect." They don't think like that. Yeah,
Thank you.
of course. Is there anybody else? Oh, let me check the chat. Were there any questions in the chat that I may have missed? Oh, Kamaria says, "I went to a speed dating event years ago, and there was definitely more women than men. The organizer did a horrible job." Yeah, it's not easy. Oh, Stephanie, I already answered your question. Oh, Tamiko says, "This gentleman approached me today." Okay. "He was running into McDonald's to use the ladies' room before. Oh, I was. I'm about to say he was. I was running into the McDonald's to use the ladies' room before my tax appointment. He was average looking, but too short for my taste. This lets me know that encounters are happening. He was nice and gave me a nice compliment." I love that, right? So everyone's not going to be ideal, and we're not going to be ideal for everybody. But the fact that you were approached, someone thought that you were desirable, they wanted to engage in conversation, and you decided they were an inappropriate match is perfectly fine too. Thank you, Tamiko. Thank you for sharing. Okay. I don't want to hold you guys up. Please let me know if you have any further questions. If not, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for you guys. I'm telling you right now, if you've had a consultation call with me before, or if you've ever checked out the investment for coaching, this cost is outrageously low. This is the time to do something different. 12 months of live mentorship for 2,500. Again, you can use Klarna, Afterpay, or credit cards. That's where the real work is done. I gave you guys the quick and fast, solid, but quick and fast. But the real work is when I hold your hand for 12 months. So if you've been on the fence, if you haven't um, been able to create the vision that you have for your love life, it's time to do something different. I'm going to text you if you put your number on the form to register with this link, and I'll also email it to you so that you can get in. Okay. And I hope to be you guys' mentor and coach in 2026. If there's nothing else, it's been a pleasure, and I'll let you go. Please make sure you keep your eyes peeled. I'll be following up via email or text message. All right, folks, it's been a pleasure. Bye. Bye,
Thank
Tamiko.
you. Bye-bye.
I expect to see you, Tamiko. I'm tired of you.
I know you are.
All right. Lovingly, lovingly, lovingly.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Thank you.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. You're welcome.